Today, we have the conveniences of the modern age to ease our lives. But sometimes we need to escape from these things. In Ernest Hemingway's story, Big Two-Hearted River, the main character Nick returns from war and takes a fishing trip to ease his mind and refine himself. Hemingway recognizes the connection humans have to nature and allows his character to use it as a recovery method. We as humans feel connected to nature, and oftentimes when we interact with it, feel as if we belong in it. In Big Two-Hearted River, Nick sets up his camp in the woods and reflects that already there was something mysterious and homelike. Nick's time in the woods away from civilization allows him to reflect on past experiences and allow himself to find closure from things that happened during the war. As Nick climbs into his tent on the first night of his trip, he recognizes that he had not been unhappy all day. This is an important distinction in how we interact with nature, as when we are immersed in a culture of technology and constant bombardment, there are days when we are truly unhappy. But when we are in a forest away from houses or anything, it is very hard to be unhappy. On the second day of the fishing trip, Nick hooks a huge trout, which eventually breaks his line. At first, Nick is mad about this, but then realizes how amazing of an experience he just had. After the trout breaks off his line, Nick decides to sit on a log in the water and makes a personal note that he did not want to rush his sensations any. Nick realizes just how special his interactions with the trout was and doesn't want to forget the emotions. Gary Snyder in the poem For All also explores this idea of nature being a place that people can escape to and relax in. Snyder describes his experience in the Rockies that he feels connected to by saying, "Rustle and shimmer of icy creek waters, stones turn underfoot, small and hard as toes, cold nose dripping, singing inside, creek music, heart music, smell of sun on gravel." Similar to Nick in Big Two-Hearted River, Snyder feels happy in this natural environment. Snyder has a sense of freedom and carefreeness that is a result of not being bogged down by constant updates, interactions, and stress. Snyder artfully sums up the connection we feel with nature by playing off the Pledge of Allegiance, saying, "One ecosystem in diversity under the sun." Both Hemingway and Snyder recognize that humans have a connection to nature that we are no longer able to access all the time, and it is important for us to reconnect with it at times, as a cure for the stresses of modern life. It is important that we take these aspects that Snyder and Hemingway address and apply them to our own lives. It is only away from civilization that we can hope to reduce stress and find happiness. We as humans evolved to be able to interact with nature, and now experience an absence when we are away from it. That is the natural connection that Hemingway and Snyder explored in their literary works, and we feel when we delve back into the woods.